Rome. The clay is red, the crowd is electric, and Jannik Sinner is doing something that hasn't been done in over a decade. Right here at the Italian Open, in front of his own people, the world number one just tied one of the most untouchable records in tennis history, and he made it look like a warm-up session. 31. That's the number. 31 consecutive wins at Masters 1000 level. A record that belongs solely to Novak Djokovic, a man who has spent the better part of 2 decades making the impossible look routine. And now, a 24-year-old from Alto Adige has pulled up right beside him. Not chasing the record anymore, matching it point for point, title for title, win for win. Sinner's opponent today was Andrea Pellegrino, a fellow Italian, which made the whole thing both beautiful and slightly uncomfortable for the Roman crowd. You had thousands of fans who love both players sitting there watching their compatriots go head-to-head on home soil. But there was never really any doubt about where this match was heading. Sinner broke immediately, raced to 4-0 before Pellegrino had time to find his footing, and closed out the first set 6-2 like he was solving a problem he'd already worked through in his head the night before. The second set was tighter. For a moment, Pellegrino managed to stay competitive until 3-3, but then Sinner broke for 4-3, won the next 2 games, and that was it. 6-3, done. Clinical, almost unsettling in how controlled it was, and Sinner knew exactly what the moment meant. Speaking courtside after the match, he acknowledged the crowd, acknowledged Pellegrino, and talked about how special it is to see so many Italian players deep in a home tournament. But there was something in his eyes that said he's not done. Not even close. Because the record he just tied, he has every intention of breaking it. Possibly tomorrow. Possibly this week. On the very clay where Italian tennis is celebrated like a religion. Now, let's talk about what makes this run even more remarkable. Because the number alone doesn't tell the full story. These aren't wins against journeymen or lucky draws. Masters 1000 tournaments are where the best players on the planet show up and compete at full intensity. Every opponent is dangerous. Every match is a potential trap. And Sinner has navigated 31 of them in a row without dropping a single one. That's not a hot streak. That's a state of being. That's a player who has fundamentally changed the way he approaches big moments and decided that losing at this level is simply not something he's willing to do. Earlier this month in Madrid, Sinner became the first man in the history of the ATP Tour to win 5 consecutive Masters 1000 titles. 5 in a row. Different surfaces, different cities, different opponents, and the same result every single time. He beat Alexander Zverev in that Madrid final, continuing a pattern of showing up when the pressure is highest and delivering when it matters most. Speaking of Zverev, the second seed at this tournament, his week in Rome ended in genuinely shocking fashion. He took on Luciano Darderi, an Italian ranked 18th, and jumped out to a 6-1 first set that looked like it was setting up a comfortable afternoon. But tennis has a way of humbling you the moment you start feeling comfortable. Zverev had 4 match points in the second set. For separate opportunities to close it out, shake hands, and move into the quarterfinals. He converted none of them. The set went to a tiebreak. Darderi took it 12-10 in one of those grinding, nerve-shredding exchanges that drains one player and electrifies the other. And then the third set happened 6-0 to Darderi. A complete collapse. The kind of scoreline that replays in your head for days. For Sinner, Zverev's exit clears a significant obstacle from his path. The draw has opened up in a way that gives the world number one a genuine opportunity to go all the way this week. His next match is against Andrei Rublev, the 12th seed, a player capable of explosive tennis, but someone Sinner has handled before on big occasions. Meanwhile, Darderi, riding the wave of one of the biggest wins of his career, will face 32nd seed Rafael Jota in what promises to be a fascinating all-Italian quarterfinal subplot running alongside the main event. There's also a bigger picture here that deserves attention. Sinner is currently bidding to become only the second player in ATP Tour history to win all 9 Masters 1000 tournaments at least once. The only man to have done it before him? Novak Djokovic. the same man whose consecutive wins record he just tied. It's as if tennis history keeps drawing a straight line between these two names, daring Sinner to finish what Djokovic started and build his own chapter on top of it. Rome is one of the titles Sinner has not yet won. He is on home clay, in front of his own crowd, in the form of his life, with a draw that has cracked open in his favor. The ingredients are all there. The question now is whether he can hold his level through the quarterfinals and beyond, because at this stage of a tournament with this much history on the line, every match comes with extra weight, whether you acknowledge it or not. There are moments in sport when everything aligns, the setting, the timing, the form, the history, and it feels like the sport itself is holding its breath. Rome this week feels like one of those moments. Sinner has earned every win in that streak. He hasn't been gifted matches or avoided elite opposition. He has shown up, competed, and won over and over again until the numbers started telling a story that even the most seasoned tennis observers didn't expect to see this soon. 31 and counting. The record is tied. The tournament is alive. And Jannik Sinner on the red clay of Rome is just getting started.